Hey everybody, happy Sunday, April 24th. I wanted to hop on here for a minute and share with you. 3 years ago today, I lost my third son to cancer, and many of you know that. I talk about it regularly, but I wanted to come on here this morning and say, just say a few things about it. I've had a few friends reach out to me and acknowledge that today was the day that I lost Colson. And I just want to say, as a parent who's lost a child, and probably any family member would feel this way, I think, when, because we've lost someone, that it's really touching when someone reaches out and says, I remember, that you lost Colson, or thinking about you today. It's so special. I have heard from parents along the way that they have lost friends because they lost a child and their friends didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to respond to them or what. And I just want to say, I have the best friends in the whole world because I've only had friends that came toward me and reached out to me and offered sympathy and condolences and empathy. And so I want to thank my friends out there who've done that. So, like I said, some have reached out this morning, and this is not to get anybody to reach out, but just to tell those of you out there, if you have friends and who've lost a loved one, that I encourage you to reach out to them. And I know when the first year after I lost Colson, I was at a conference for parents who lost children, and I remember reading something, and it said that people are afraid to say my child's name, which I was reading it. People are afraid to say my child's name, but the biggest fear the parent has is that somebody won't say their name and that somebody will forget their name. So parents who've lost children love to hear their child's name spoken and memories shared with them. So I just want to encourage y'all today, if you know someone who has lost someone, even just any family member, just reaching out and saying their name. It's so special and it's so touching. At least for me, I think I speak for most parents. I think the worst part is not hearing their name. And I have not had that issue. I have had amazing friends, just an outpouring. I've had people come from across the grocery store to come give me their sympathies, and I really appreciate that. And I heard one parent at that conference, she was telling that when she lost her daughter, that they had been hanging out with this particular family, for several months, maybe almost a year before they lost their daughter. And after they lost her, this particular mom was in the store, and the friend that they had been hanging around with left her buggy of groceries, like full, when she saw the mom who had lost the daughter. And so she left the store, left her buggy there. And she never spoke to her again. The mom never saw the friend, which I don't know if you'd call that a friend, right? I don't know. Different people handled situations differently. But anyway, so when I heard that story, it just made me realize how blessed I was, because all my friends came toward me, and like I said, even acquaintances across the grocery store came. And so I just encourage y'all with that today. And also, losing Colson is, of course, awful and terrible, and no parent would choose it, and he was so amazing. And I could get down and I could cry a lot and get really, really sad. But what I have to do is make a choice to remember all the good things and all the good memories, and that I had him for 17 years, and we lived, me and my sons, we lived a full life. We lived it to the fullest. So, okay, hey Jeanette, hey Reggie, hey, thank you Reggie, thank Lynn, thank you. Lynn, do you agree with what I'm saying or disagree? Because maybe it could be a controversial subject. I just know for me and some of the things that I've read about other parents that that's what they say, and that the biggest fear is not that they'll hear their child's name. The biggest fear is that they won't. And so I know for me that's true. I love hearing his name. Right. So Lynn, if it's okay, I lost a brother recently, and he was one of my very best friends. We met in college. His name is Leon, and we met in college, and we stayed in touch over the years. He married, and he had 6 beautiful children, and I married and had 3 beautiful children, and we just kept in touch through the years with Bobby Joe, his wife, and so that is a special friendship that lasts over 30 years. And I met Lynn and Leon's whole family, and they're wonderful people. I had an amazing time going to New York, visiting with them and going to the Poconos, to their summer home, I guess now. Their mom lives there, Ruby, she lives there. And so Leon was a really, really special person to me. And in my story in college, I was trying to make a decision, and I remember talking to Leon about it, and he cleared it up for me. He just helped me to see things more clearly and helped me to take the step toward the decision I was contemplating and kind of fretting about. And so Leon plays a huge part in my life, and I'm thankful to him. And recently we were chatting, and we were going to work together, and I was looking forward to that. And he and I had big plans, and so I do miss him, and I'm thankful so much for Leon. I mean, he just had this pivotal part in my life, and so I'm really, really thankful that I met him 30-something years ago in college, and he was so funny. He made me laugh. Oh my gosh, he cracked me up. He had such a good sense of humor. And like I said, I loved going to meet his family, and I have kept up with his family over the years through him, and so I do miss Leon also, and I have to trust that what I learned from him while he was here, I just have to carry it with me, and definitely he has a place in my heart. And so thank y'all for watching. I see your names come up, and they've kind of left my screen. And so anyway, I wanted to share that today, because it also, I think, if you've lost someone, that the time of year, no matter if you're making a grand production and doing wonderful things, I think your body and your cells still know that today's the day, or the season, or whatever it might be. So it's good to grieve, but I can't stay there. I have to move forward, and think of all the wonderful things that Colson added to my life and so many others. He lived a big life in 17 years, and it was said at his service that he touched more people's lives in his 17 years than some people touch in 80 or more. And so I'm so thankful that I was chosen to be his mom. Like, it's like, wow. You know, some people have a superhero out there that they admire, and I had one right here in my home. Actually, I had 3. My sons are amazing people, and the fact that I got to raise them, be their mom, and hang out with them for all those years homeschooling, we had a blast. So I'm so thankful. And so I'll say it again. I've said it before, but it's so touching, and it really changed my life after I lost Colson. I got a hold of a book really soon after I lost him. I got a lot of books, but this one really was a pivotal moment. And in it, the man, he said, you know how people say we lost them too soon. They went too soon. They were too young. That we didn't have enough time with them. He said, what if we had the exact number of days with them that we were supposed to have, and what if we had them the exact number of years we were supposed to have them? And I remember reading that and thinking, you know what, I have to hop on that train, because I think we always have 2 trains to hop on, the positive one or the negative one. And it's a choice. Every day it's a choice. So I choose to see it as I had him the exact number of days that he was supposed to be here. Not on my time frame, but there's a bigger plan going on. And so I look at the things that I learned from him and the days I got to spend with him, and I keep my focus on that. And yes, there are tears, and yes, there is grief, and yes, there is heartache and pain and all of that. That's inevitable, but I don't stay there. And so I want to encourage y'all, if you're going through anything hard, because there are so many hard things that every day you have a choice to stay in it or to press on. And yes, I take the positive choice, and y'all have that blessing to be able to do so also. The thing is, if you've heard my story, when my husband left, he left in 2012. And the thing that I didn't know in 2012 was that I could change my mind, that I could think a different thought. I was broken and crushed and devastated and heartbroken because I had 3 sons, and their dad was living with someone else. And all I wanted was that fairy tale wedding, marriage, won't live happily ever after, one husband, one wife, forever. And he left, and that crushed all those dreams, and I didn't know how not to think about it. I wallowed in it for way too long because I didn't have the tools that I have now to change my mind, to think a different thought. And of course with that too, there was the grieving process. But I didn't even know it lasted way too long, and I hung out way too long in the grief and the pain and the hurt and the heartache because I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know things would be okay. I didn't know that things would be better than okay. And so that's why I want to share now with people who are going through hard times, because I want to be the person who comes to them and finds them in their grief and say to them, it's going to be okay. And more than that, it's going to be better than okay. Yeah, it just is. But if you look for it, I could see the other side. I could have seen the other side back then. I could have gone off on the bitterness and resentment, anger and hatred and all those negative emotions. I could have, and it's easy to do. But I knew that I didn't want that for my sons. All my sons, Cade, Cameron, and Colson. I didn't want them to see that in me. I wanted to be the best mom for them, and I wanted I wanted to have a loving atmosphere in our home, and I didn't want an angry undercurrent. So even when my husband left me and was living with someone else, when he would come to visit, I wanted him to feel welcome and be welcome, and always want to come back the next time to see my boys, because I didn't want to be the reason that he didn't come back and see my sons, his sons. So I made a choice back then, and it was, in a way it was hard, but then in a way the greater good, I could see the greater good, because I know what it's like to live with an angry undercurrent, and I didn't want that. And so anyway, so I say that to say, though I stayed in the hurt and the pain and the grief too long on that. And so there is a choice. We can choose to switch our thoughts and our mind. So that's what I want to encourage you today. You can hop on the positive train or the negative train, but it is a choice. And it may be a choice every second of the day, and it may be a choice every minute of the day. I remember way back, I used to think, I wonder if there'll be 1 minute that passes that I don't think of my ex-husband. Way right when he left, a long time ago. But I remember having that thought, like, I just want 1 minute to pass that he doesn't go through my mind. I didn't know that I could choose a different thought. So that's what I encourage you today. Choose a different thought. Think on the positive. Find the good in the situation, and be thankful for the good that can come from it. It may not be a good situation, but be thankful that good can come from it. And so anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. And if you've lost a loved one, celebrate them. Celebrate their memory. Celebrate what you've learned from them. Write it down. What did they teach you? What did they say? Why were they in your life? Because they were in your life for a reason. They were put there, specifically placed there for a reason. I remember when my boys were young, and I would always say, you know what? Out of all the boys in the world, God made y'all brothers. And there's a special reason for that. And I would just think, wow, they're here. These 3 here were chosen to be brothers and chosen to be my children. And so I think that's a neat thought. And so, but everybody that comes into your life, there's a reason. So think about that, and think about what you can be thankful for, that you learned from them, that you loved about them, that just treasure the special memories and write them down, and think on the good things, because there is good in everything, and what you look for, you find. So I'm going to hop off now, but thank y'all for watching, and think about what to be thankful for. Think thanks. It will change your life. If you want to be in my Growing Gratitude group, where we go a little bit deeper into all this, comment below. We'll invite you over there. We have different things we do every day, and would love to have you. If you know anybody who's hurting and are doing great and wants to just get better and every day be better, comment below, and y'all are welcome to come, and we just dive a little bit deeper into to all these good things. So happy Sunday. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.